Doing what I do, I watch a lot of films. And last week I watched four films for the very first time, so I want to tell you what they are and what I thought of them. If you see me for the first time, I'm Taylor. I talk about films, I make films, and I talk about making films. So the first one on my list is Source Code starring Jake Gyllenhaal, which is a really cool concept for a film. Took that like Groundhog Day synopsis of living the same day over and over again, except it's an ex-military man who has to find and prevent a train bomber. I did find myself getting a little bit bored at times with some long stretches of dialogue, pretty much just telling me what just happened or why it happened. It's almost like it was written for someone who'd never seen a sci-fi film before and needed their hand held through it. However, after all the exposition was out of the way, I did actually find myself quite enjoying it. So I gave it a solid 3 out of 5. Next up on my list is American Hustle. This was just a super charismatic film full of charming characters. I was taken by the twist at the end. I'm a little bit ashamed to say, like, what do you mean I sat down to watch a film that's clearly set up as a heist film and then was caught off guard when there was a twist at the end and everything wasn't as it seemed? It's a bit silly, really. But it was a great film, though. I gave it a 3.5 out of 5. Another film that I watched for the first time last week was Dead Poets Society. I found this to be a really easy watch. I was hooked from the first time Robin Williams showed up on screen. And from that point, I just found it to be a really easy, steady enjoyment throughout the whole film with some beautiful cinematography and some really thought-provoking moments right up until the end, which it got pretty tragic at the end, I'm not going to lie. I don't know why it took me so long to watch this film, but I have now. And I gave it a 4 out of 5. Finally, the fourth film I watched for the first time last week was The Order, which is Jude Law against a white supremacist plot to overthrow the federal government. I quite enjoyed this watch. I think it was quite a solid film. I think it was surprising in some parts. I think it was predictable in others. I did enjoy Nicholas Hoult in this film. I think he did a fantastic job of being a white supremacist. Nothing really blew me away about this film, but I do think it was a solid watch and it was one I enjoyed, and so I gave it a 3 out of 5. So there you go. There are films I watched for the first time this week. I'll be doing the same thing again next week. Let me know what you think of the films on my list, and let me know if there are any films that you've watched for the first time recently and what you think of them as well.